Okay, in today's class, we are going to continue from part 2 of our previous video on theory of quadratic equation. Okay, but basically, we are going to be talking about questions from alpha beta. So, if they ask you a question like this, if alpha and beta are the roots of the polynomial 2x 2x squared minus 5x plus 2 equal to 0, what is the easiest way you are going to solve this problem? For those of you that is writing CBT, remember you have to share and subscribe to our YouTube channel for amazing videos like this. Okay, the first thing one have to do is to identify the coefficient of the quadratic equation. The coefficient of this quadratic equation is having that a is 2, b is minus 5, and c is 2. Once you know the coefficient of this quadratic equation, you are done with the solution. So you bring out your calculator. By making the work easier for you, you press mode 5(3). Mode 5(3) can assist you in solving this quadratic equation to get the value of alpha and the value of beta. So the best thing you do is press mode 5(3). You press 2 equal to the value for a. You press minus 5 equal to the coefficient of b, and you press 2. You press equal to the value for c. Finally, you press the final equal to get the value of your alpha to be 2. Then you press another equal to get the value of your beta to be 1/2. Listen, when you solve quadratic equation using your calculator, it helps you to know the roots of this equation, provided they say it's alpha and beta. That simply means the first root is alpha, the second root is beta. So if you have 2 and 1/2 as the solution to the problem, that simply means that 2 is alpha, which is the first value, and 1/2 is beta, which is the second value. So what do they tell us to simplify? They say you should simplify alpha all over beta plus beta all over alpha. Since we know the value of alpha, alpha all over beta plus beta all over alpha. Since we know the value of alpha, which is 2, we substitute the value. We have 2 all over. The value of beta is 1/2 plus beta is 1/2 and alpha is 2. Moving on, when we press this thing in our calculator, you discover that the whole thing here is 4 plus the whole thing here is 1/4. Okay, so which will end up giving us our final answer. This times this 16 plus this 17/4. We check our option. If there is something like that in the option, is option number D. Okay, the easiest way to approach any question on alpha and beta is by getting the value of alpha and getting the value of beta. So after getting the value, you go to the question asked and substitute your parameters and get the answer. Okay, in question 2, they said if alpha and beta are roots of x squared minus 3x plus 1 equal to 0, then alpha minus beta is what? Okay, using the same approach, you press mode 5(3). Then the coefficient of a here is 1. You press 1, you press equal to. The coefficient of b is minus 3. you press minus 3, you press equal to. The coefficient of the constant is 1, you press 1, you press equal to. Then finally, you press the final equal to get alpha. You press the final equal to again to get beta. Three plus root 5 over 2. I is I there. Okay. Beta is what? 3 minus root 5 over 2. Like this. Okay. Okay. So what did they tell us to find? They say you should find alpha minus beta. So punch all in our calculator. Alpha minus beta will be giving us 3 plus root 5 over 2 minus 3 minus root 5 over 2. Then you press. To press this thing in equal to, you just have to cue it in the same way it is in this place. When we collect common denominator, we have 2. We have 3 plus root 5. Minus, we multiply the whole thing here. Minus times 3 is minus 3. Minus times this is here plus root 5. So this will go with this. Root 5 plus root 5 is 2 root 5 all over 2. Finally, 2 will go with 2. Our answer will become root 5, which is option number C. Okay, that is for question number 2. But listen, and always, the most important thing is for you to always use your calculator and get the 2 roots, which is alpha and beta. When you get the 2 roots, you narrow your interest to what they are asking. The question they are asking becomes very simple because you have already gotten the value of alpha and the value of beta. Okay, that is all for example 1 and 2. So moving on, let's talk about question number 3. In question number 3, they said the root of 2x squared minus 7x plus 4 are alpha, beta. Find the equation whose roots are alpha all over beta, comma beta all over alpha. Okay, the sweetest way to do this thing is to write the equation down. 2x squared minus 7x plus 4 equal to 0. Okay, you get the value of alpha and get the value of beta. How are you going to do it? With the same step, you identify the coefficients of A, B and C by having A to be equal to 2, B to be equal to minus 7, and C to be equal to 4. So the first thing I'll do is to press mode 5, 3. I'll press 2 equal to, I'll press minus 7 equal to, I'll press 4 equal to. Then I'll press the final equal to get the value of alpha, which is 7 plus root 17 over 4. And the value of beta is equal to, again, to get the value of beta to be 7 minus root 17 all over 4. Like this, right? Okay. So for us to evaluate, remember in our previous video I taught you how to find a quadratic equation whose root is given. How to do it? If you did not watch the previous video, you should do well to go and watch it. We use the formula of finding equation sum of the roots multiplied by x plus product of the roots equal to 0. So this thing is telling us to sum the roots and to multiply the roots. So using your calculator, you get the sum of the roots. Sum of the roots to be adding these two roots together. 7 plus sod 17 all over 4 plus 7 minus sod 17 all over 4. Then you get product of the roots in similar way with your calculator by having 7 plus sod 17 all over 4 multiplied by 7 plus minus sod 17 all over 4. Okay, to evaluate the sum of the roots and the product of the roots, you have to plug this thing in your calculator. 7 plus root 17 all over 4 plus adding the two roots together. So you observe that when you add these two roots, you will get 7 over 2, and when you multiply the two roots, you will get 2. Okay, so when you plug it in the original equation that we are looking for, you see that the sum of the roots, we got it to be 7 over 2 multiplied by x plus product of the roots gave us 2 when we multiplied it, all equal to 0. So to get the quadratic equation, since this one is fraction, we have to multiply everything by the denominator, which is 2. So multiplying x squared with 2, we have 2x squared. Multiplying minus 7 all over 2 by 2, the denominator will go. It will be leaving minus 7x plus multiplying 2 by 2 here, I will have 4 equal to multiplying 0 by 2, I will get 0. So this is the equation that the root is alpha all over 2 comma beta all over 2. So you check your option. Is there any option that looks like that? Yes, option number B is correct. Okay, that is all for number 3. Number 3, you just have to get the values of the roots. You use this main equation that connects sum of the root and product of the roots. Get the sum of the root and product of the roots, then you find the equation. That is all. For number 4, simply you will do the same thing that we have been doing before. For number 4, you do the same thing. They said if alpha and beta are the roots of the polynomials, okay, obtain the value of 1 all over alpha plus 1 all over beta. Okay, let me use a common way to teach you this. For those of you that is writing WAEC and those of you that are writing NECO and watching this video from afar, we have x squared plus x plus 1 equal to 0. So in the study of alpha and beta, there is what we call sum of alpha beta, which is given by the formula minus b all over a, and we have what we call product of alpha beta that is given to us as c all over a. Okay, this one we don't want to press alpha and beta with calculator. Let's just abandon that for now. So here we have a here to be 1, b here to be 1, and c is still 1. So minus b all over a is going to be minus 1 all over 1, which is minus 1. Then c all over a is going to be 1 all over a is what? 1, which will still give us what? 1. So we have the sum to be minus 1 and we have the product to be 1. So moving on, they said we should find 1 all over alpha plus 1 all over beta. Finding the LCM. LCM is the denominator, which is alpha beta. So alpha divided by alpha, beta will remain. Beta times 1 will give us beta plus beta into beta, alpha will remain. Alpha times 1 will give us alpha. So you observe that the numerator is the sum and the denominator is the product. And we have the sum to be minus 1 all over, we have the product to be 1. Minus 1 divided by 1 is minus 1, which is option number A. So most of the times, if you are asked this type of question, the only thing you need, provided that the root is alpha beta, you have to get the sum and the product, then simplify it. That is all for example 4. So for example 5, they said if alpha and beta are the roots of the polynomials, this obtain the value of alpha squared plus beta squared. Okay, let's go over to our calculator method approach to see how we address this question. The equation given to us is 2x squared minus 5x plus 7 equal to 0. So remember that the coefficient of A here is 2, coefficient of B here is minus 5, the coefficient of C here is 7. So the good thing that we are going to do is to use our calculator. Press mode 5 3, you press the coefficient of A 2, you press equal to, you press minus 5, you press equal to, you press 7, you press equal to, you press the final equal to get alpha, and you press another equal to get beta. Five over 4 plus I. Then the value of beta is what? 5 over 4 minus root 31 over 4I. Okay, so the question said alpha squared plus beta squared. But for you to get alpha squared and beta squared, since it's a complex root, you see this equation have complex roots, you must put your calculator in complex number mode by pressing mode 2. When you press mode 2, you enter, cue in exactly what you have here. You are queuing it in as 5 over 4 plus root 31 all over 4I all squared plus, you see we have alpha squared here, plus beta squared. We will be having 5 over 4 minus root 31 all over 4I all squared. Remember, they are telling you to square alpha plus square beta. Since you have gotten the value of alpha to be this, you square it, plus you have gotten the value of beta to be this, you square it. Finally, you get the final answer. Remember, what we use in pressing I, this imaginary I, in our calculator is ENG. In our Casio calculator, original Casio calculator. So this one, fraction, we use this symbol in calculator to press fraction. So when you press fraction, you press 5 all over 4 plus roots. Roots have this symbol in your calculator. So you have to locate this sign to press roots. To press I, you press ENG. Okay, once you are done entering it, you see that the answer will give you minus 3 over 4. Okay, which is option number C. Okay, in number 6, they said if alpha and beta are the roots of the equation x squared plus x minus 6, x squared plus x minus 6 equal to 0. You know that A here is 1, B here is 1, and C here is minus 6. Okay, so the first thing is to get the value of alpha and the value of beta by pressing mode 5-3. Press mode 5-3, you press 1 equal to, press minus 6 equal to, then you press the final equal to get the value of your alpha, which is 2, and you press the another equal to get the value of beta, which is minus 3. Okay, what is the question? So get alpha minus beta all squared. So the good thing to do is to have alpha minus beta all squared is alpha, which is 2, minus beta, which is minus 3, all squared. You know that minus times minus is plus. 2 plus 3 is 5. All squared will give us 25, which is option number D. Okay, moving on. Number 7, they said if alpha and beta are the roots of the quadratic equation 4x squared minus 4x plus 1 equal to 0, they said then alpha cube plus beta cube is dash. The first thing is you press A is 1, B is minus 4, and C is 1. So you get the value of alpha and the value of beta. Okay, with your calculator mode 53, you get alpha. Alpha is root 3, 2 plus 2 minus root 3, 2 plus root 3 and 2 minus root 3. Okay, for us to get alpha cube plus beta cube, we have alpha cube plus beta cube becomes 2 plus root 3 all cube plus 2 minus root 3 all cube, which you punch it exactly like this in your calculator to get 52, which is option number A. Okay, so the trick about this particular alpha and beta equation is knowing the value of alpha and knowing the value of beta. Sometimes the value of alpha and beta goes to imaginary roots or complex number roots, which you have to put your calculator in complex number mode 2 to figure it out. So when you get the value of alpha and beta within the two roots of the equation, then you narrow your mindset on the question asked. That will help you to evaluate the answer. Thank you for watching this video. We are going to do factors and remainders theorem in our next video, so that we will finish theory of quadratic equation and now study more and deep on the concept of other concept lines. Subscribe and share the video for more.